Hey, it's me,
Driverless
V here
Trucking
from
Part
Driving
1.
Driver. We're hauling freight across the 48. Now, if you look on our page, one of our previous videos talks about or posts a lot of articles on the topic of driverless trucks or autonomous vehicles, and I would have to say that it's kind of like a thing that's been kind of concerning the trucking community, because I would even have to say, like, me and my husband have been going back and forth and seeing if this is going to be a huge issue when it comes to the employment and, you know, the jobs of truckers out here in the industry. Now, as you can see in the article below, there was a truck that was like transporting freight that I think it was like butter, and they were able to successfully run it from California to Pennsylvania within 3 days. Now, when a lot of times when you read a lot of these articles, they'll say like driverless trucks, autonomous trucks, all these things, and then it makes you want to really think, like, is this truck really driving itself? That means like it doesn't need any type of person inside of the vehicle. And I'm here to let you know that yes and no. So basically, in this case, they did have what's called a safety driver that was behind the wheel the whole time to make sure, like, to jump in and, you know, and run it manually at any time that it needs to be, just in case any type of malfunctions or something happened to where the truck wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. Now, there was another article where a trucking company in Sweden actually did kind of the same thing, except for there wasn't a driver in the vehicle at the time, but they were remote, like they were controlling the truck remotely in some terminal somewhere to make sure that the vehicle was going to its destination and was doing what it was supposed to do. Now, I know what a lot of drivers are thinking. Is this going to turn into where it's not going to need or require a driver at all? And I'm here to tell you that there are companies that eventually don't want to have a safety person or anybody in the vehicle at a certain point, but it's still going to rely on a whole bunch of factors that a lot of people don't really realize or count, you know, when it comes to, you know, these driverless vehicles. And then you have to think about the fact that there's certain things such as infrastructure and then regulations. And you know, every state has a different regulation, even for everyday drivers and truckers on the road. So some states might require that there has to be somebody in the vehicle at the time, and some might not. But either way it goes, if there's not, you know, if every state is not really, you know, if there are states that require that there has to be somebody in the vehicle, and for especially when it comes to OTR, over the road trucking, whether or not you're in a state, or if you're a trucking company that's in a state where it doesn't require it, but you need that freight to be transported, you're going to have to still have somebody in the driver's seat at the time. Now, if you want to learn more, go to part 2.